Welcome back. And it's episode 4 of the Ginger and Honey podcast. My name is Nick Valentine,
And it's your girl, the lioness. Sometime I'm ginger,
and I could be Honey,
but
but depending
depending
on
on
the
the
day,
day,
it
it
could
could
go
go
either
either
way.
way.
Yes. All right, sis.
Hey sis, how you feeling?
I'm feeling great. How about you?
I'm awesome.
Okay.
I'm awesome. Well, today we're gonna talk about just friends, being
Mm.
platonic friends with
Ooh.
the opposite sex.
Ooh. Juicy.
So it's the double standards,
Uh-huh.
attraction,
Mm-hmm.
just platonic relationships.
And
Can they
can they
happen?
work? Yeah.
Can they
Yeah.
happen? So that's a layer topic that often sparks some sort of debate, right? Steve
Always.
Steve Harvey says it can't happen.
Not at all.
Yeah.
Yes, he stresses that.
Yeah, yeah.
I keep telling y'all.
That there's no rule for those
Yeah.
platonic friendships.
Mm-hmm. What's your take?
I personally have lots of male friends. So I believe you can.
Mm-hmm.
Um, I've heard that they must be attracted to me. And I'm like, no, I don't think so. There's never been anything that indicates that there's an attraction there. It always just seems strictly platonic.
Platonic.
Yeah.
You know what I heard somebody say?
What?
Get naked in front of them.
Oh, well, I have not ever done that.
See what they do. That's the
Wow.
true test.
Yeah, I'm not willing to.
Right.
That's
Nobody is. That's crazy.
crazy.
Yeah, that was pretty funny. Somebody definitely said that.
I,
Yeah,
I,
test it out. Get naked in front of them.
and then you'll
See
see.
what happens.
Well, so we understand that people have different definitions or understandings about what platonic is. So I actually looked it up.
That's true.
The
Okay.
dictionary says
Uh-huh.
that it is intimate and affectionate spiritual relationship that is not sexual.
Ah. Okay.
Yeah, I thought intimate, and I'm like, when we say intimate, our minds usually go
Go
to
to
something
sex.
sexual. But
Yeah.
we have an intimate relationship, so I
Right.
was like, oh yeah, that makes sense.
Mm-hmm.
Um, affectionate.
Mm-hmm.
We're affectionate with one another. I am happy to see my male friends, and I will embrace them.
Right.
So I guess that's affection.
Yeah. Yeah.
But I had to really
Yeah. Get
think
the
of
true
the definition.
definition.
But yeah,
Yeah.
we all know definitely not sexual.
Right. Absolutely. Yeah.
Okay.
So that's what I would think it would be as well. Mm-hmm.
So the why can men and women actually be friends? Is there a double standard for that? And how does that affect your relationship, your romantic relationships?
Yeah.
Right. So let's discuss a little bit about being platonic friends across genders.
Yeah.
So let's explore the myth that Steve Harvey is he's so
He's so
adamant.
adamant about that for sure.
Yeah.
He's so adamant. And there is a double standard, and I would agree.
Mm-hmm.
I would agree. I think women are more prone to accept their partners having female friends, platonic friends,
Hmm.
than men are to women having platonic male friends. And for me, I think it matters how those friends came to be.
Yes.
How did that friendship start,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
Because one, was there attraction, you had a conversation with somebody, but for whatever reason it was like, okay,
We'd be better off as
we'll
friends,
be
but
better
there
off,
was an
but
initial
there was an
attraction.
initial attraction.
Yeah.
Right, right.
Yeah.
Or like in the case with my partner now, he has female friends.
Mm-hmm.
Um, and the group of friends that he's closest with, the women, one of which introduced us actually,
Mm-hmm.
was a friend of an ex. So that's
Oh,
how, in that relationship, he became friends with her friends. And once they split, they just remain friends. He remained friends with those girls. So, and knowing them and meeting them is another factor. I think once
yeah.
you have that introduction,
Vibe
that
check.
yeah, yeah,
Hmm.
I'll
What's your
I'll
friend?
decide
Yeah.
what it really is.
Yeah, I will decide. What type of energy? Oh, that's your friend, huh?
She likes you.
Yeah, she likes you and you're being naive.
Yes. Oh, because
Cause
men
give
definitely could be blinded
yeah.
by. You don't
Oh,
see this. You
you
don't see those
think so? You don't see those signals.
signals. Those extra. She
Yeah.
mighty touchy feely
Yeah.
over
She
there,
was side eyeing me when she met me. So
and
why is
that
that if that's just your friend?
and that. Absolutely, absolutely.
Mhm.
And then I know we have different experiences as well,
Yes.
personally,
Yes.
with maintaining platonic friends because I
Yeah.
don't have male friends.
Yeah. I find that so hard to
Yeah.
believe
Like
because
it's a
I,
lot of guys that I know that I'm
yeah,
cool with,
yeah,
and the ones that I'm closest with, they're like brothers
yes.
to me. But none that I just call up and shoot the shit with. What up?
And I'm so and I wonder if it's because I've always been kind of, I won't say tomboyish, but kind of
Mhm.
like the homie of the group.
Yeah.
Like typically I'm seen as like one of the guys, like she gets it,
Mhm. I
like
can see
so
that.
I think that that's why my oldest male friends, like we literally went to daycare together.
Wow.
Yeah, like I remember being a toddler sitting next to them coloring
Oh
and
my
stuff like that.
goodness.
Yeah,
That's dope
so
though.
and then all through the years have just kind of stayed connected. Never any funny style anything, never
Mhm.
any of that. I think too when I went away to school, college
Mhm.
was different. When I look back, it's like, oh, that
Mhm.
was weird. Going away to school with
Mhm.
even with my male friends, we would like spend the night at each other's house, sleep in the same bed.
And nothing.
Nothing.
Never tried you.
Never.
Wow.
Yeah, it was pure, and they were not gay. They were
Mhm.
straight men. I was straight. I am straight. It
Right.
wasn't. It wasn't any of that
Yeah.
vibe, but
Mhm.
strictly platonic friends, and we still maintain those relationships to this day. So
Nice.
when I enter a relationship, I do lead. I communicate that.
Yeah. That's
I lead
the
with,
transparency
yeah,
of this is what it is.
yeah. I
Yeah.
let me let you know I have a lot
Mhm.
of male friends.
Yeah.
So and they're on different levels of
Mhm.
communication. Like some I speak to more than others. Some we send memes and gifts to each other all day long,
Mhm.
but it's really like how I do with you, how
Yeah.
I do with the girls. Like it's
Yeah.
really nothing there.
Yeah. And sometimes I wish I had that because,
Yeah.
we've talked before about just that male perspective, and it
Yes.
kind of keeps you on game, a
Yes.
lot too,
Yes.
having somebody say, nah, sis,
Yeah, that ain't it.
that ain't it,
Yeah. Or check
So,
yourself here or
yeah,
check yourself there.
absolutely.
I feel like it's important for that. You
Yeah.
need those male relationships that can
Hmm.
really help hold you accountable
Right.
and see your blind spots
Yeah.
because there is no ulterior motive. Like they not trying to get with you themselves.
Right.
So
Right.
yeah, I love my homies. Like,
Yeah.
and then it's always like there's the ones that you don't see that often. And
Hmm.
so when I see them, it's like, oh,
Oh.
what? Like we be
Yeah.
outside having a great time together.
Yeah.
Like it's dope
Yeah.
to be
And
able
I
to
have
have.
that, and I like that with the guys that I refer to as brothers,
Yes. Yeah.
the same. Like we may not keep in touch, but whenever we see each other is all love,
Yeah.
all
Yeah.
love. Yeah. But I wouldn't call them for relationship advice, or not
Um,
that I say I wouldn't. I don't
mhm.
or
Yeah.
haven't.
Yeah.
But I know if conversations have come up, and actually maybe a conversation has come up with one in the past. could definitely give some good advice, but it's
Yeah.
not a go-to type of thing. Like
Yeah.
to have that. This is
I
my
think
my
once you're
my guy.
in a deep relationship,
Mm-hmm.
whatever those conversations may be, you should probably have them with your person
Yeah,
instead of your male friend, because then it creates a gap.
yeah,
And
that's
the
true.
the idea is to not have gaps.
Right.
So I feel like
Yeah.
with my male friends, I have kind of navigated the relationships different when
Mm-hmm.
I am in a romantic relationship with somebody. It's by
That makes
default.
sense. Yeah,
Yeah,
I can
it
see
kind of
that.
the communication is
Yeah.
less, the and nobody takes it personal
Right.
because
It's
it's the same on
understood.
their side,
Right.
right?
Mm-hmm.
Now I'm now spending time with my person.
Mm-hmm.
I don't have that extra time to
Mm-hmm.
spend with you like that and in that
Right.
way and on the phone and you know
Right.
filling you in. Now if
Right.
it's the beginning, it's give me your perspective, what do you think about this or that, but like if we knee
Yeah.
deep and we
Oh, right.
having some
Protect that.
challenges, yeah, that needs to be protected.
And I think that's where the doubt and insecurity comes in
Yes.
because some people do share problems,
Overshare.
overshare
Mm-hmm.
issues, and this is going on. And then that crosses a line, right?
Yeah.
And opens up for potentially
Yeah.
some mixed emotions.
Yeah.
It's going over into attraction side because now I'm helping you out and the empathy and the emotions get involved. And yeah, fine line.
There's a
Got to
fine
have
line. You gotta
strong boundaries
very
in
strong.
doing that.
Speaking of which, so
Mm-hmm.
like you have friends of the opposite sex, you're now in a relationship, they call in at inappropriate times.
Nah.
What do you do? My phone stays on do not disturb anyway,
Nah.
just because I don't like all those notifications and stuff. So it's like
Right.
I can monitor
Mm-hmm.
that. But yeah, that's an expectation
Should
that's a
be,
limit.
yes.
Yeah.
Yes. And it should be understood, right?
Yeah.
Each party should respect their friends' relationship and their friends' boundaries.
Yes.
Um, but right, what if one doesn't? How you check that? Because listen, do not call my man, okay, at midnight because you stuck on the side of the road. You better go to the next ice on that list in your contacts.
Ice.
Yes, that's the your emergency contacts.
Wait, what does this stand for?
Your initial contact for emergencies.
Hell no. I did not know it had an acronym.
Go to the next one.
Yeah. Your
Look, I hope that's what
State
it stands
Farm.
for. I might have made it up.
It works. It
It's
fits.
definitely ice in the phone, though.
It fits.
Yeah.
You need to call somebody
Yeah.
else to help
Yeah.
you if you stuck on the side of the road.
Yeah. I will feel away.
Yeah. Call your man, your own man. Don't
Yeah.
call mine.
Your daddy, your uncle, your brother.
Hello. Roadside assistance. Here in
Triple
Georgia,
A.
it's 511.
Yes. Lock that in your contacts. Yeah. It definitely has to
Yeah.
be boundaries, though. Yeah.
And then I think having those conversations, once you meet the friend,
Yeah.
you can kind of get a feel, or when you get that history of like how y'all became friends and
Yes.
how y'all were rocking, like my person has female friends. That used to
Mm,
be a real issue for me. I've
mm.
grown so
I
much.
know. I'm so proud of you.
Sheesh.
Look at you
I can be very
growing and glowing.
yes, implementing what I learned.
Yeah.
I could be very territorial.
Hmm.
It's the lion in me.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
so I'm like, what she want?
Right.
Why are you here?
Why? Yeah. Here. Who
Yeah.
that?
Who that? I don't like the way she.
Yeah.
Yeah. So understanding as long as it's respectful
Hmm.
and that she understands.
She understands.
you want, but that's for that person,
Yeah.
the your person to draw the line.
Right. Because you shouldn't have to step in.
That's right.
Yeah.
Yeah, because I like to sit to the side and
Let
pretty
you
in
do
pink.
you, Zaddy.
Yeah, while I
Let you,
watch,
yeah, yeah.
you go ahead,
Handle that.
handle all that.
Yeah.
Because I'm gonna
And
handle
but
it.
right, vice versa.
And I just think it's a natural kind of
Yeah.
progression. It eventually weeds itself out as you start to spend more time over here.
Hmm.
Everybody understands. They should.
Yeah. So I think, to each his own, but
Yeah.
the takeaway is as long as there's transparency and
Boundaries,
boundaries, yes,
honesty.
honesty and trust in your partner. Because
Yeah.
that probably is first and foremost.
Yeah.
That,
Because it is a thing that's between the two of you.
yeah,
It really has
absolutely.
nothing to do with anybody else.
Right.
So
Yeah.
having that trust established is where it's at.
Yeah. Make it work. Okay, so talking about double standards, platonic friends, what about exes?
I guess it depends on the level of an ex. Like if it's high school, we kind of talked.
Hmm.
There was an initial attraction, but then I mean, at this point, that's like 30 something years old.
Hmm.
And if we're still in connection, we've more than likely gone on to other things. So,
Right.
like, I feel like if it's like we talk for a little while, I guess y'all could be
Still
friends.
be
But
friends.
like, if we were in a full blown relationship, I don't feel like that's appropriate.
No,
You know, I don't
because I
think
guess
so.
then it wouldn't be platonic.
Right. Yes. It wasn't
True.
always platonic.
True.
So yeah,
True.
no exes for me.
Okay.
Like a true ex, yeah, no. But then you have to keep some of those relationships. So like, I guess you got to stay in contact with your baby daddy. That that's an ex who, I mean, they become like family.
True.
Y'all are
or
family.
or you cross the line, you have a kid, the other kid 6 years later. Oops.
Sounds like you're speaking from experience. Tell us more
Yeah.
about that.
Yes, yes. So, yeah. So my youngest son's father, we were together for years, and which helped with us being co-parents, but it was
And
still
friends.
in friends, and it wasn't a friends with benefits type situation. It was obviously feelings still lasted. Feelings were still there,
Yeah.
lingered on for quite a bit, and yeah,
Several
so
years to be exact.
several years to be exact, and had a moment of crossing the line, and yeah, with his ex baby daddy, and had another baby 6 years later.
Yeah.
Welcome to the world, Sky.
Yeah.
So, and I've
So a
heard even
reason why you
people,
shouldn't be friends with exes.
right, right, and I definitely heard people say, especially getting into new relationships, some men, as some women, felt like, oh, I'm not going to deal with anybody who has children because of that fear, right?
Yeah.
Is the assumption that, oh, once you had a child with somebody, you can always, spin the block, double back,
They could always hit it.
they can always hit it. Which isn't always the case.
No.
You have to understand the dynamic, understand the story, the background, the history.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Mm-mm.
So, yeah.
Para me, nah.
Nada
Yeah.
is a wrap.
We didn't
So,
spin that block.
yeah, we did. But
Yeah.
after that, no more. After that, no more. But yeah, but like I said in a previous episode, it was some strong emotional ties,
Yeah.
chemistry,
Yeah.
took some processing, but we good now. We went on and married, and I've been in other relationships, and we're good. We're good. We're
Yeah.
adult children now, so we don't even have to speak and keep in touch and contact like that anymore. Kids are grown, but is no animosity,
Yeah.
no, but not that same connection, you know.
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah. So
Well,
yeah,
um,
watch the watch the exes and the baby daddy, baby mamas.
yeah, no. I once it was done, it was that was it.
What you say is clipped.
It's clipped.
Yeah,
It's clipped. The feeling was mutual.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
He didn't like me as much as I didn't like him.
He said, "So we're good on that."
We're good on
I'm good
that.
on you, buddy.
Yeah, it's gonna take a
Yeah.
lot for us to even just speak cordially to,
Mm,
maintain the positive rapport for the kids.
yeah.
So yeah, neither one of us were getting into. And then
Yeah.
we both had other relationships too.
Right.
So
Right.
keeping the respect of the boundaries of those relationships, there was no back down memory lane. Yeah, there was none of that. None of that at all.
What they say, LTD back in love again? Nah.
Yeah, nah. Nah, 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 nah. So, would you say it's more appropriate? I can think you kind of touched on it for female to have male friends or vice versa. Like which one? Because there is a double standard
Yeah.
about having friends of the opposite sex. So,
Mm-hmm.
what do you think?
Mm. I think I think it kind of goes both ways.
Yeah, it's
I think women may be more accepting than men. Men just have a hard cutoff with things, I feel.
yeah.
Just like
We are more flexible.
yeah,
Yeah,
yeah, and more forgiving and
yeah,
um more compassionate, more understanding,
yeah,
so I think most men is just like a nah,
yeah,
just
yeah,
just like a nah, the thought of it,
yeah.
but like we said, I think the transparency on the onset,
Mm-hmm.
the initial introductions
Mm-hmm.
cuts out a lot of that concern.
Mm. I just thought of something.
What?
Going back to like the online dating.
Uh-huh.
So when I met the one who I thought we were going to be in a relationship,
Mm-hmm.
I discussed like I do up front. I have male friends, this, that, and the next. And I could tell
Didn't
it
receive it
rubbed
well.
him the wrong way, right? So now I have to travel and like my ones that are like brothers to me, like we kind of have a lot of access to each other's lives,
Mm.
right? So going on a trip and it's like, "Oh, I'm going out of town, but you coming this way, you can come stay at my place. I won't be there, but I'm gonna let you come stay at my place." Okay,
He
cool.
said,
Like
"Say
that's
what now?"
right. So on get there, whatever, whatever. And it's like, look, and I was going with a girlfriend. So it's like, hey, you could sleep in my room and have your girlfriend sleep in the guest room and whatever, whatever. Fast forward, get there, and it's like, so you at your like there were a lot of questions. So you at your homeboy's house? Yeah, he's not here. He went out of town for the weekend. It's like, okay. So like where you sleeping?
Mm-hmm.
He said sleep in my room. Like he didn't know my friend I was bringing. He knows
Mm-hmm.
me, so it was
Right.
like you could have my room.
Mm-hmm.
All right, I'm in there by myself. Okay, well, what you got on? I'm going to bed. Like I got
Wow.
on what I wear to bed. Like
Yeah.
there's no mail here. What is the
Right.
problem? And it really posed a real issue.
Issue. Yeah.
And then like even with my partner now, he's like, yeah, see, like, no, that there was something wrong with that. And I was like, I
You
still don't
still don't
see it.
see what the problem is. I
Yeah.
don't understand.
I mean, now I mean, I got it. That's your bad. You wouldn't
Yeah.
like that. So fine, I'm gonna respect it.
Right.
But I still didn't really see
Like,
like
what's the problem?
what's the problem? It's always been platonic. It ain't. He's
Yeah.
like, so you just rolling around in that man bed, bitch. Like,
Yeah. In his bed might be a little tricky. Maybe you could take the guest room, maybe. In his bed
yeah,
seems a little comfortable.
I mean, I
Yeah.
guess, but I
Yeah.
really didn't see it like
But
that.
that's the innocence of it, right?
Yeah,
That like
and like
this
that's really
is
my like
my
that's my brother. I would sleep
my
in my
brother.
brother's room.
Right. Right. They're like, mm.
Yeah, no.
Now
I
you
was like,
playing in my, you playing in my face. Get out of here.
yeah.
But see what I
I
find
was like, I
too.
changed the sheets. I mean,
It's like
okay.
whatever. And then sometimes flipping the situation, like
Yeah.
how would you feel
Yeah.
in turn
Yeah.
if he's going out of town?
Yeah, no, I didn't do that.
Yeah.
Because when you
Right.
say it like that, it is kind of like,
Yeah.
okay.
Yeah. And two, and it doesn't mean you're insecure about it. Sometimes it's just a boundary.
Yeah.
Like
Yeah.
I trust you, but I
Yes.
don't like that look. Ain't good. It ain't
Yeah, it's
cool with
not a good
me.
look.
Yeah.
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 So
Don't worry, babe. I won't do that ever again.
I won't be sleeping in any other brother's beds. Who that? That's my brother.
Yeah,
Mm,
but like I said, coming from
but it was
like
honestly
in college,
it was
we used
nothing
and it was in college, but you
yeah
gotta think of my mindset, right? Like I used to share a bed with my
with your homie.
homeboys, and it
Yeah.
was really nothing.
Yeah.
It was really on some okay, good night,
Yeah.
you know?
Yeah.
A-
And I can
and I
see
know
that
that's a
too.
different experience.
Right. I was
Yeah.
gonna say, like being younger and where we are today. Just things
Now
that we
you
did a
grown and
lot
you
of, yeah, it was a lot of things. It was like, whoo,
yeah.
we was tripping.
We was tripping.
But it was what it was. And we knew what it was. And
Yeah.
I think just with all things, be it just our crews and cliques, be
Hmm.
it coming from New York, I don't know. We just tend to have a different mindset about a
Yes.
lot of things in
Yes, we do.
general,
We do.
so
And I think it like the up north mindset versus the southern.
southern.
Because like when I told my girlfriend about the situation with the online dating and the how I think he felt like
Mhm.
about me having lots of male friends, she's southern. She was like, nah, southern men don't play that. Like they're serious about roles and
Mm.
friendships and what that looks like and how you interact and all that.
Yeah.
And for a southern man, that's a lot. That's too much. Like y'all might do that up
Right.
north, but there ain't no
Down
southern
here,
man.
we don't play that.
We don't play that.
Yeah.
Yeah. So
Yeah.
I was like, okay, let me tuck away my apple and pull
Mhm.
out my peach.
You're right. And then that's something about maturity as well,
Yeah.
to be even able to accept that different perspective, because we
Hmm.
could be strong
No, this me.
and right, strong in what we feel,
Hmm. You either
what we
like it
think
or you keep
is,
it pushing.
yeah.
Yeah.
But it's like, no, I gotta respect how you feel and your perspective and where you're coming from with that.
Yeah. And even
Hmm.
if it makes you
Yeah.
uncomfortable, I don't want to make you uncomfortable. So
Right.
I'm going to do what is going to make us both comfortable, compromise.
Compromise.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, all right. Well, let's talk about attraction
Ah,
and being in a relationship
yeah.
and, how that looks when you are attracted, you find yourself being attracted.
Because that's real. That's real.
That is real. It's not like, oh, I decide, I'm in a relationship, so suddenly I see no men. There are no
I'm,
men.
I'm blind, baby. I'm
I'm
blind,
like,
baby. Did you? Nope.
nope, I didn't
Did
see it.
I,
Did you see that fine man walk by? Absolutely not.
not
Mm-mm.
at all.
His muscles had muscles. Didn't see it.
I
Did
know not what you speak.
yeah. It
Yeah,
doesn't it
it's not
doesn't work like
reality.
that. We're human. We're human, and
We
that
are
goes both
human.
ways.
Both ways. Absolutely.
Yeah,
Yeah.
you got to be respectful with it.
Uh-huh.
But like, yeah, I see it. It's about what you're gonna do with it.
What? There you go.
So let's normalize the reality of the fact that once you're in a relationship, being attracted to others doesn't suddenly just stop.
Right.
So, how do we navigate that space of
Mm.
like having an attraction, whether it's somebody passing
Yeah.
by or pull up or beside you at the light or
Right.
whatever, like stop you in the store? How do you, and you might find the person actually
Attractive.
physically attractive.
Yeah. Because it doesn't stop people from being attracted to you either.
Right.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah.
Yeah.
So
So.
what? How like I know I had stopped this guy taking pictures.
Mm-hmm.
He was a photographer, videographer, and it's like, oh, okay, well, I have a podcast. Like, let's exchange information. And gave me his information. I'm like, okay, I'm following you on Instagram, whatever, whatever. A few days later, he texts, hey, DMs me, hey,
Mm.
hey. First of all, hey is for horses. Block.
Yeah.
You instantly got blocked because if I'm talking to you about business,
Business. Right.
I don't want to hear like
No
I don't want you
casual.
to,
Yeah.
yeah, don't approach me
Uh-huh.
casually like you know me and it's
Right.
friends. So I'm gonna assume that there must be your intentions are not what my intentions are.
Right.
So you're just getting blocked.
Right. Immediately.
Yeah, I'm
Yeah.
not even
No
gonna wait to see. Yeah,
conversation.
we're just not on the same
Right.
level.
Right. And that
So
wasn't the introduction.
yeah,
So
no, not at all.
what's your angle? Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. But attraction is natural, like
Yeah,
you said.
it
So,
is.
and I think going back to transparency,
Mm-hmm.
and being honest with your partner, right?
And trusting
And
where
you're not
y'all
going to act
stand.
on that.
Yes.
You got eyes to see. We all know what looks good and what doesn't.
Yeah.
And hell, we might see somebody, I know we both agree, we both think our men are fine,
Yeah.
right? But it might be somebody that's finer.
I don't know about that. Not for these
not
eyes.
for these
But just
but
good good
but
looking.
right,
Yeah.
another good looking person, a woman with a better body,
Yeah.
just all the things,
Yeah.
right? um we're not perfect, right? So it can't be any insecurity
Yeah.
that just that visual attraction
Yes.
is going to incite an action,
Yes.
right?
Yes.
So attraction doesn't equal infidelity,
Right.
right?
Yeah, it's not the
So
same.
yeah, is it just about you being disciplined enough to not act on what you see
Mm-hmm.
or what you feel if it gets to that?
Yeah.
We don't know. And then we keeping it real. We all know what our person likes,
Yeah.
what we think they will find attractive.
Mm-hmm.
So which brings me to a story of an ex years ago. And like most men, they like a big butt, right? So he definitely did.
Yeah.
I do not have one. He loved me for my heart
Your beautiful
and my
spirit.
beautiful spirit. That's hilarious. But I'm very secure in myself and who I
Yeah.
am and what else I
And you're
bring.
beautiful
And
inside
I'm
and out.
right,
You
right. I
might
know
not
I
have a
got
big old
more
booty,
to,
but it's
right.
okay.
That's right. I got plenty to offer,
That's
right?
right.
Yeah. So I was never insecure about that, but I
Little
knew
booties need love too.
little booty, little booties, just a little booty, some love. But I wasn't insecure about it,
Yeah.
right? So that's my point. And
It's a little shapely booty.
it is. It's a
It's
little heavy.
a little
It's deceptive.
you got you got a deceptive
It's
booty.
deceptive. It, it'll sneak up on you.
Oh my gosh. Okay.
Stop.
Whew.
Yo, you stupid.
Oh my
You gotta mm, mm, mm.
Oh my gosh.
So, with that being said, a particular story that's funny that I remember. Oh gosh, you crazy. So, I knew that's what he liked, right? And we were just in a park, just out hanging out one day, walking down the street, and a couple of girls were coming in our direction, right? So, you know how they say she got a butt so big you see it from the front? She had an ass following her. I could see it from the front.
Trellalord.
Trillalo, 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 trillalo. It was coming. It was coming, baby. I saw it. Saw it. Here it come,
She
right?
got that
She
wagon.
got a
She
dump
dragging that wagon.
dragging. You hear me?
Okay.
So I'm already knowing, right? So we're approaching. She's
Yeah.
approaching,
Yeah.
gets closer. And right as they were about to pass, I was like, you could look.
Yeah.
And we both looked, turned
Yeah.
around, and cracked up laughing, you
Yeah.
know?
Yeah.
So, like, that was just a cute, funny moment. And it's like, yeah, I saw it, like, damn, it was even bigger than I thought, you
Yeah.
know? So you make a joke about it, keep going,
Yeah.
right? So that was just a little playful thing. And I just remember
Hmm.
that situation. But is yeah, now I was with him, of course, you know,
Right.
but still being mature enough to say we can get a good laugh about this,
Yeah.
right? We gonna both look. How about
Yeah.
that?
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
I can look and find women attractive and beautiful too. Like,
Yeah.
oh, hey, she beautiful.
Yeah.
Oh
And we
yeah.
compliment,
And
right? Like,
we
oh, you're
yes.
so pretty, sis. Like,
Yes,
or I
we
like
do
your
that all the time.
hair, or I like your,
Yes.
whatever.
Exactly.
You look really nice
Exactly.
today, or whatever, whatever. But
Yeah.
we not gonna be with no man that's gonna do that.
Right.
Like I'm walking with my man. He's definitely not gonna be like, oh, he fine.
Babe, you see his pecs? I did, but why did you?
Yeah. Yeah, no. That does not go both
It
ways.
does not.
That does not go both
It does
ways.
not. It
Yeah,
does
yeah.
not.
I don't want to be,
Right.
It's
Right.
funny. So when we went to recently took a trip to Mexico, right?
Hmm.
So we did the whole coordinating bathing suit type things, right?
Oh, did you? Oh, how
Yeah.
cute.
And we didn't really like plan
Plan it.
it.
Okay.
I just went wild with the bathing suits. I had every color in my bag. So we happened to be coordinated, right? So these two guys pass us, and the guy's like, I like that lime green.
Mm.
And we both looked at each other, and I was like, which one of us is he talking to? He was like, yeah. Like, who you talking to? It's like we both have on lime green, but what does that mean? So I
Right.
said, was he talking to you, or was he talking to me? And he was like, yeah, like let me check that. So then the other guy was like, oh no, I could vouch for him. I could vouch for him. And he's like, no, I'm just saying my wife always wants me to dress up. And I'm like,
Oh, okay. You
let's dress alike,
cleared it
same
up.
color, and I'm just not really with it. He's like, but I like the way it looks. Yeah, we'll have to try that. We was like,
Oh,
oh, okay,
okay.
cool.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah,
So
clean
that
that up.
doesn't go both ways.
Right,
But
right.
yeah,
And
definitely.
even I think in respectfully,
Yeah.
somebody should not compliment someone else's partner in front of them. That is a compliment, but it can be
Yes.
disrespectful, you know, like
Yes. I've had that happen before
mm,
where like a guy has said to my dude, like, she's really pretty or
that's
whatever,
different.
whatever.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah,
But it made me feel a little uncomfortable because depending on the guy, like which way that could go
true,
left fast.
true. But rather say it to him to acknowledge
Yes.
his woman and be like, "Oh, you're gorgeous with your man standing right there. Who you talking to?"
Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
yes, she is. Thank you. I know.
Yeah, yeah. That's why I picked her.
That's right. Yeah. So that could be a
Oh
little
my goodness
disrespectful.
gracious.
Right. Right. Or even for you to say something about someone you see, like me, like I, can acknowledge what looks good and what you may be attracted to, but me standing here, like you're not about to make a comment.
Yeah.
We can joke about it together,
Yes.
but yeah, double dog dare you, right, to make a comment in front of me.
How about when I've had over the years, you riding in the car, some nice pull up on the side, and you kind of like, I'm just gonna look straight. My
Look
eyes don't
straight,
turn from left to right. I'm
look
gonna look
straight,
straight.
look straight.
like
What
like
you
it's
do? Try
okay
to
to
run right.
look. Like knock it off. That was so extreme. Oh, you start wiping your eyes, be like, I think I dropped something.
Let me see. Let me see something real quick. Yeah. Yeah, but right, when it's so obvious, like, come on.
Oh
It's
my
okay.
goodness.
But it
Yeah.
all goes back to respect.
Respect. I think
Yeah.
it deepens the connection too when you can acknowledge
Yeah.
that I'm human
Right.
and that my eyes have not suddenly gone blind because now
Mhm.
I'm in a relationship or you're right here.
Right.
Like I'm going to handle it with respect and dignity, but just knowing that like these things happen. I
Right.
think it makes a deeper connection for you to be able to have those vulnerable talks without somebody feeling jealous or you feeling judged about the fact that you
Mhm.
have those desires. Also knowing that, for men it probably will take a little bit more than just your sheer willpower
Yeah.
to
Mm.
not go with those temptations.
Right.
You better pray about it. You better fast about it. You better get down on your face
And say,
before you go with it.
Lord, give me strength.
Give me strength.
Yeah. Yeah. Because
Please.
they right. Because they definitely probably have more temptations than we do.
Yeah. That, it's kind of innate for them
Yes.
to act on
Yes.
more so than us.
Mhm.
We're kind of like, I'm locked down. Do, 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 do.
Mhm.
I see you. Oh, you're cute.
Yeah,
Yay.
yeah, yeah.
But they be like, how can I, dear Lord, forgive me, Lord, for I have sinned and fallen short of your glory, Lord. I have looked at this woman and lust
And
after her.
lustful eyes. Please
Lord, please turn off my
remove this.
lustful eyes and my sinful nature.
And these things we pray. Amen.
The
Yeah.
blood of Jesus.
Blood of Jesus.
Amen.
Yeah. Amen. Because we know it ain't easy,
Yeah.
but
Yeah.
it's a decision.
It is
It's
a
a
decision.
decision.
Mm-hmm.
It takes work, it takes discipline. Like you said, you may have to do some praying and meditating, whatever you need to do. But you
Mm-hmm.
decide
Yeah.
what you're not gonna do
Yeah.
is. Yeah.
You ain't walk down the street, slip, fall, and fall into the.
I don't know. It just happened. Hmm.
Oh, did it? So you don't say.
Oh, really? Yeah.
Yeah.
You're like, how'd
So
you get that black eye? I don't know. It just happened.
it that also just happened. How'd you end up in intensive care? Oh, just I don't know.
That's, that's my wife. It just happened. Are you like it? Hmm. I don't know. Yeah.
I
Yeah.
don't
But
know.
right. It did not just happen.
Yeah.
That was a whole process.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Accountability.
Accountability.
And if
Yeah.
you have a need, a itch that I
Mm.
ain't scratching, let me know
Let's
about it.
talk about it.
Yeah, don't go
Right.
seeking
Yeah.
elsewhere.
Yeah. Because that's the thing, too. And we know in relationships, especially long term relationships, marriages that you get into with the intent for death do us part, right?
Yeah.
That sometimes we change.
Yeah.
Needs can change as we grow,
Yeah.
right? But you got to communicate that.
Yeah.
Yeah. We still good?
We still what?
Are we still good?
Oh, yeah.
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 Are you happy?
Yeah.
Am I meeting your needs?
Yeah.
Are you satisfied? Feel good in this relationship.
How can I serve you
How
better?
can I serve you better?
What do you have?
What do you have?
Welcome to Chick-fil-A. It's been a pleasure.
It's
It's been
been
a
a
pleasure to
pleasure.
serve you today.
Yes, yes. So, and all things leads back to trust,
Respect,
respect, transparency,
boundaries,
boundaries.
being self-aware
Yes,
and reflective.
reflective. Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Communication.
It all starts with self.
Yeah, for sure.
Everybody's always pointing the finger.
Mm-hmm.
When you point the finger this way, you got one pointing right back at you.
That's right.
So,
That's right. Check that man in the mirror.
so as our final thoughts, we know that male and female relationships are possible.
Yes.
Platonic relationships
Platonic.
are possible.
Mm-hmm.
Double standards do exist, but they don't have to be challenged through these critical conversations.
Right.
And attraction is human, but acting with integrity is the difference.
Ooh, baby.
Mic drop. Ginger and Honey
Ginger and
podcast
Honey
out.
podcast out, baby.